Okie dokie. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Bitches. My name is Rachel Bonetta, joined by two of my best buds, Sarah Tiana, Meg, and Gaye. Meg, you're pissed. And let's just be frank about it. You're pissed. You're in a bad mood, which is, to be honest, I always get a little excited for Sports Bitches episodes when you are, let's just say on one, which is often. But I do feel like it makes for a better show.
I know, but I'm also like tired, so I'm just like lethargic and pissed. Like it's like if someone was like, "Give me your wallet," I'd be like, "Take everything, take my husband, take my child, take my mother and father." I'm like giving up, pissed. I'm like broken. I'm a broken woman.
Yeah. I've had hangovers like that. Being like,
Which is kind of like being pregnant, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I've reached freak show size, where people are like, "Whoa, you having the baby tomorrow?" And it's like, "No, I'm not. I'm having it in like 5 weeks, and that's even early." And like everyone wants to talk to me, and it's like this must be how like really famous people feel, that everyone wants to talk to them, and you're like, "I fucking hate you, and I don't want to talk to you."
Mm-hmm. You said there were a couple of girls that looked at you and then whispered to themselves, "She looks so pregnant."
It's happening constantly. Like people stare at me and then are like, "Oh my God, she's so pregnant." Like you can tell there's people that are like, "She shouldn't be out. she should be at a cliffside resort hiding away from the world because she doesn't look like she should be walking around."
You said
I do feel like that's
game.
We went to a minor league baseball game, Indianapolis Indians. The Guardians changed their name, and the Indians said, "No, we're good." And they're not even the Guardians feeder. They used to be. Now they are the feeder for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're rocking. They're rocking with Indians. The mascot at least is a bear, so I think that was their compromise.
Okay.
In Native Americans and bears, I guess there's like connection there.
Of course, but it's not like a Pocahontas bear. It's like a cartoon bear. So it's I don't know. And the bear's nose is a baseball. But yeah, like
Cute.
We took Conrad to the gift shop, and it was like, "Honey, we can't buy you anything. Like this is culturally inappropriate." So we're not going to be able to buy you any merch. And he, I think, understood. He kept calling it Dodger Stadium by the zoo, and we were like, "Yep, this is Dodger Stadium by the zoo." And there were
the preferable name.
Two Asian guys on the team, and I was like, "That's Shohei Ohtani right there."
What is he?
I feel like you're getting the real good tour of Indy right now. You saw your dad play in his band at the community pool.
Yep.
What was that like? Did he get a standing O?
That was their gym. So you have to be a member to go there.
Okay. That's elevated.
Yeah, and my dad's just singing Margaritaville at the gym, while people walk around with shirts off. It was really, and then we went.
Your dad sitting at the gym to sing your songs is my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like, all these people exercise, I need to sit down. I'm the singer.
Yeah, Meg sent us a photo of the setup, and everyone's standing, everyone's energetic. People are standing around. Dad sitting kind of in the back too. Really not the place where a lead singer should be.
Yeah, lead singer behind the drum set. Super chill.
Right. Doing one song and then leaving the band, talking more than singing, talking into the mic, wearing hiking boots, and no clue why, wearing Pacers gear. Last night I turn around at the AAA baseball game, and he's handing out his personal card that says "Knucklehead lead singer Jeff Gaye" to people we don't know. So it's like
he had cards made for his band,
and he carries them everywhere.
Oh my God.
Carries them everywhere, because he's singing Star Spangled Banner by himself at the top of his lungs while a middle school girls choir just hoping someone is gonna come up and go, we need someone with your pizzazz.
We've been looking for somebody just like you. Do you happen to have a card?
What if he got to sing the national anthem at like the Pacers game or a Colts game? Right?
I feel like between the three of us, we know somebody that could make that happen.
The three of us, just her road. She could just ask people on her street.
He does sing at Colts games. His band does play at Colts games.
Yeah,
but it's huge. Just let him sing the national anthem, and
like a preseason game.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. With the game we went to last night, we got there and I went with my high school friend and I I'm sitting next to his wife. I'm like, "Where's Matt?" And she's like, "Down on the field." And his daughter got to say play ball. Oh. And I was like, I want to say play ball. They told me
would you let your dad sing the Sports Bitches theme song maybe one week?
Yeah, we did have to have
all he really had to say is, "Oh no, sports bitches."
Yeah,
for your lives. That's it.
We did have to have a long talk about if he wants to come in on the podcast. That's fine. He did obviously break in on a professional work call. The three of us were having with 11 people last week, and so we did have to have a long talk about that. Oh, he's walking by right now.
Oh, here we go. Jeffy.
Oh boy,
Jeff Gaye making an appearance. Okay, so let's talk about
start the podcast.
Pacers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that the game that you went to, or are you going to the one today?
We didn't go to that one, and we're not going to this one.
Why?
Okay, so here's the thing, and this might be, I'm like scared to even put this out there, is because now it feels like I can't.
Okay, so, don't say it. You're afraid.
Are you jinxing something?
Hypothetically, what if they were to go to the finals and we've already spent all this money to go to the East? I've already been to an Eastern Conference Finals game, and so has everyone minus CJ. So it's like, I want to go to a finals game. The last time the Pacers were in the finals was 2000, and my family was in Europe the whole time. So the Gayleys missed that finals run. So we are saving our piggy bank for the finals.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
I did that with the Raptors. I was like literally rooting for Warriors to win some of the games so that I could go to the last one. And I did. Mm-hmm. And I watched them win. And it was great.
And, I was feeling very confident on Sunday when they were up 20 and just cruising. And that place seemed rocking. There was a man sitting courtside in a full race onesie.
I saw him.
And he's not a racer. And then he also had a giant racing helmet. Yeah. And it's like, we can't even bring in a clutch. And yet this man is allowed to bring in a giant helmet and put it on the court. So that's...
And a full fire suit. Like
so bizarro. But then I saw a stat that game Sunday made the Pacers 0-4 on playing at home when the Indy 500 was the same day.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like, I think a curse, maybe a little bit of drinking. They were up 20. Then the Knicks came back. Jalen Brunson was in foul trouble. Karl Anthony Towns, I guess you could say, went off. I don't know if 13 points is craziest playoff surge, but it was like, oh, maybe this is a good wake-up call. But I know so many people going to the game tonight. I'm nervous. I am nervous because we were up 2-0. It looked like we were about to go up 3-0, and now it's 2-1, and I feel like maybe the Knicks have a little confidence and something clicked in their brains a little bit that I am not as. And I've never been like, even when they were up 2-0, I was like, well, it's not over. And everyone was like, it is over. And I'm like, it's not over. Nothing is ever over.
Nothing.
So I'm a little, I
have a question. Because I don't feel like we have not talked about this yet. I don't even think we talked about it in our group chat. How do we feel about the choke in the first game. I feel like, cool, what a moment, what a throwback. The first game, too early, too scary. I would have been upset. What did you think about it?
So I am totally fine with it because the Knicks choked. It wasn't like game two where it came down to the wire and everybody, it was like, oh, the game was close. The Knicks were up by 17. And then it like the Pacers had like a 1% chance of winning based on like the time left and how much they were down. So it was actually a choke. And so I'm like, it was correct. He only did it
but given the weighty history to it.
Yeah. He only did it also because he thought he hit a 3. He's like, if I had known that was a 2, I never would have done that. But like they did choke and then they won the game. And so now I feel like the choke has wiped clear. And then they won the game after at MSG. So I am actually fine with it because it was the definition of a choke. Conrad keeps doing it and calling it the Tyrese. And I'm like, that's actually not historically accurate, Conrad. It's actually the Reggie done then by Tyrese. But
Z and I are watching Winning Time, the documentary about Knicks Pacers. What a great documentary. Very like in the 90s, like, oh my God, it seems so old. But just given like, you know, Reggie grabbing his crotch, doing the, it just seems like, woo, I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, you just wanted to go the opposite way this time.
Yeah.
You know? But like, what do you feel like if you guys were up 20, you know, how do you feel if like Brunson or somebody did that to you guys?
Oh, I mean, Jalen Brunson looks sad all the time. Even when, like, he has sort of like sad eyes, or there's definitely a sadness there. And so then when they cut to him and they've just lost, he's even more dejected. That I'm like, do you like basketball? You don't seem to be having a fun time. And as I put on my stories, I'm very attracted to his dad. I like a chunky meatball. A bald, chunky meatball really speaks to me. And so when I saw Rick, I was like, now, Rick, there's passion in that face. He's sitting there assistant coaching, and I go, yeah, he's got something. His son is out there scoring 40, and he looks upset the whole time. So if he did that to us, I don't know. People keep like, I have Knicks fans reaching out to me, and it's like, I don't know why you want to talk to me.
Are they just sending you
like,
bongs?
No, they're like, I would kill everyone on your team and not feel bad about it. Or like, I hate your team. I hate your team so much. Like, I know this is happy for you, but like, you still have to live in that piece of shit place, or you're still from that piece of shit place. Which is like, we've been over this. So many times I keep getting tagged in things where it's like first of all, Indianapolis and Indiana are very different places. Okay. Like you come to Indianapolis and you go, oh, okay, there's
cute.
This could be Minneapolis. This could be like another city. Then you go to rural Indiana or northern Indiana and you go, no. Like, it's like, oh, yes, we are not. Like,
I remember the drive to the club one time next to Indiana University, and I'm like flying in and then like, you know, driving, and I'm like, wow, there are a lot of Confederate flags out here. And that's where I wrote that joke, was like, well, the good part is they're all attached to fireworks stands. So I'm like, well, that's going to work itself out. No, but like,
that's great.
Yeah, the Klan was created in southern Indiana.
Jesus.
And Indiana was a North state, a free state. We're part of the North. We're not even part of the Confederacy. So when people like talk shit, I just keep seeing like comics and people I know being like, nobody wants to see the Pacers. Nobody wants to. And it's like, then your team needs to score more points. Like, that's not what sports is, not a fucking vote. It's not. Okay, so if you want to do it based on market size, that means the NFL, the Super Bowl, would be Giants Jets every year. Do you know how fucking awful that sounds?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. We all understand that New York is the largest city, then it goes Los Angeles, then it goes Chicago. We've all seen a census. We all understand population density, but that is not what decides who gets to go on to the finals. And it's like, you think about the small markets in the NFL, the Packers, like the Packers are the smallest market in any sports franchise. And it would be incredible to see them.
Their fans
like,
show up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And the thing is, per capita, I don't know how many people in New York City, but it's a lot. And not that many of them actually care about the Knicks. In Indianapolis, everyone cares about the Pacers. It really matters here. So it's like, I get that you don't care, but you sound like a fucking baby. So shut up. This is not the electoral college.
Will there be relationships ended for you?
No, because Knicks fans have always been annoying. You know, it's like they've always been little crybabies, and the root of the issue is their owner. If you have a problem, take it up with your piece of shit owner. That's who you need to be mad at.
Easy segue here.
Anybody wants to see the Knicks win except for Knicks fans. I think everyone outside of New York is like, yeah, it'd be fun to see the Pacers. This is a fun team.
They score more points if you're talking. I know, but like, okay, so the Knicks play 7 guys. Who are they? Fun? We just said their number one star looks sad all the time. The Pacers have like 10 guys that can randomly go for 40. Obi Toppin has scored 40 points. TJ McConnell is just that crazy white boy from Philly. Like, it's like, if you're talking just actual showmanship, the Pacers are offensively dynamic to watch. They are doing crazy things. And then you see Cat and you're like, oh God, this lumbering buffoon.
They're the only big market team left. I mean, it's all like, it's all like Minnesota, Oklahoma City, and then you guys, and then the Knicks. Like, it kind of feels like you have to take out the big bad wolf a little bit.
Yeah. Where do you think that Timothee Chalamet is staying when he comes?
Okay. I had so many questions about that. My gut says a house, like a fancy house,
like a mansion.
Because there's like, so the Conrad is a hotel downtown. It's a little dated. And then there's the JW Marriott. And it's like, Timothee Chalamet cannot be at a Marriott. Like, I just, that's
more
not...
specifically, Kylie cannot be sleeping in a Marriott.
No, that's, when I saw him at the game, I was like, where is he staying? That was the number one thing I thought. Terry Crews, JW Marriott all day. But Timothee, I think he must be at a house. And I don't even know like where that house. Maybe he was staying with a race car driver. I don't, because some of the race car drivers do live here. But
do you think that in town? Do you think he just like flies? I feel like back he's probably to New York?
Just out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Taylor did that a lot too. Like everyone was
like,
where's she staying?
I feel like he
Travis
is the
literally
Taylor
had to buy
Swift.
a new house.
He is the Taylor Swift of Knicks. Like, they literally cut to him all the time, and it's like, how come no one's saying anything about that? It's always like Taylor Swift is ruining football when they cut to her twice.
Yeah,
and it's only when Travis has scores.
Like 3 whiskers that we're having to see close up. Taylor's
I mean, I love his fandom. It's very fun, but it also feels very new. But like maybe I just never really saw him at, and maybe I'd never seen the Knicks in the playoffs. Except for one time against the Hawks, and like the Hawks beat them, but I don't remember Chalamet being at that.
And like
there's a lot of stuff that has come up that Timothee Chalamet's been a fan since he was a kid. Like I saw a photo of Landry Fields, who used to be a Raptor, and he was on the Knicks before. I guess that they did some sort of like ticket giveaway. And him and another player were like hiding out at Grand Central Station, and Timothee Chalamet came to find them, and he's like 8 years old. So I do feel like he's been a Knicks fan his whole life.
And I was
so maybe he just wasn't super famous during that series, and he wasn't sitting courtside.
Yeah. I don't begrudge him, but it's like I'd rather see Spike, and I guess that makes me an elder. You know, like it's like I see Spike Lee and I go, I know exactly what's happening, and I also like you. And like if I were to sit down and talk to him, I feel like we could. Timothee Chalamet, he doesn't know the 1990s. He was a baby. You know, winning time. He had to watch In Utero.
Is he a 2000s baby?
I
No,
guarantee.
He's
I
he's
I
in
guarantee he
think
his
was.
so. I think
late
he's like
20s, early
2000,
30s.
2001.
Really?
Anyone born post nine
He's
11,
young.
I go, I don't know how to connect with you.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
Damn, I was gonna say
When
something
was
and now I
he
can't
born?
remember.
95. So he's 30.
Okay.
He's almost
95.
he's
Oh.
29. He'll be 30 in December.
Well, I hope the Knicks don't win for his birthday.
Damn.
Yay!
Okay, we
Can
did
we
briefly just talk about owner. Do you have something else that you want to add to the
Well,
best
I
buds
just
story?
was gonna ask about the Indy 500 because I wanted to see if Megan saw that Tom Brady trolled Colts fans at the Indy 500.
I
So
did
Tom
not.
Brady
I saw he was
was
there.
he was there and then he got booed by everybody
Great.
in Indy and he was like it was nice to have another successful drive in front of Colts fans,
Pretty
which
good.
was a
Yeah,
pretty good
pretty
joke.
good. Listen, he was around you for
Sarah,
five
did you
weeks.
write that for
He learned some
him?
things. He
I did
learned some
not.
things. To be booed by 350,000 people is like a lot. That's probably the most people that have ever, that's the most people that can boo you because you can't get
In one
that
sitting, yeah.
many people together. Yeah, I saw it was like him, A-Rod, Jeter, and Michael Strahan. And then I go, where are they staying? Like, what are these hotels? Like,
I'm
where are
just
they
thinking about
popping
all
up?
of these opportunities for Jeff Gilley and his cards. If he is seeing
Yes.
Tom, if he is seeing Timothy in the
Yeah.
street,
Yeah.
he needs to make sure he's got those printed. Make sure he's got
Well,
extras.
so
'Cause we got a lot of celebs in town.
my mom told me a story about they were staying at this place called the Greenbrier, which is like it's got its own history. And Bubba Watson was at like a table over and just like trying to have a dinner with his wife. And my dad went over and started talking to him. And my mom was like, Bubba Watson was furious and hated your dad so much.
Oh no!
And it's like, yeah,
is
you
he a
can't
little
go.
oblivious? Like he doesn't really.
Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it. Lost it.
Lost it.
My.
You know who loves him? You know who's obsessed with my dad? Will not stop talking about him and refers to herself as my stepmother? Chelsea Handler.
Chelsea Handler. Yeah.
She's like, "Where's your dad?" Like joking about how my dad and her are going to bed. Like because it's like he met her and he was unhinged. And she was like, "This is the greatest man I've ever met in my life."
She's like loves Unhinged. She collects Unhinged.
Yes.
Of course.
So
Of course.
Bubba Watson hates, Chelsea Handler loves. That's the Jeff Gailey spectrum.
I'm on Team Chelsea for that, even though Bubba's a Georgia boy. I'm like, no. All right, go
Okay,
ahead.
choose your own adventure. Which way do you want to go? Do
Okay.
you want to talk about Tom Brady and flag football, or I feel like we should lean into the Jim Irsay because
Let's give
Meg,
Jim his due.
let's yeah. Where were you when you found out? Because you
I was
texted
at a-
us first, right?
I was at a Panera Bread on 82nd Street. I was at a Panera with my child. Ignoring if anyone saw me at that Panera with Conrad, they must have been like, "She's a really bad mom," because I was on my phone the whole time. A Colts friend texted me and said, "There goes our boy," and I'm like, "What?" Like I had no idea what was happening.
Like someone got traded.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then it was like Ursay died. And it's like, I don't even like it. That's so crazy to me. I never even like thought about this moment happening. He seemed like he would live forever. I do think it's been, heartwarming. And maybe because I follow so many Colts players, obviously. So I'm a little like in the echo chamber. They've all said really lovely things. And see, like T.Y. Hilton was like, "I'm not okay. I'm devastated." And just a really, I think, sincere outpouring that I don't know if a lot of owners would garner. Like I tried to think, like it's like if Jerry Jones dies, we're gonna get ESPN push notifications, but I don't think everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, we lost a good one." Like I think Jim Irsay was such a specific character and was so vulnerable and open about his own struggles in life that it made him extremely like likable
Relatable.
yes, and just dead set on giving away his money. Like now there's all these stories coming out how he would go to homeless shelters here in Indianapolis and just hand out thousands of dollars
Wow.
to people. He was always doing
Wow.
giveaways. He was very accessible to fans. I know growing up, I would see him around the city constantly. So yeah, it's like he had demons and he was very open about his demons, and not only was he like, hey, these are my demons, he was like, I would like to use my stature and my money to try and help other people. And the Colts have like a very strong initiative about mental health and about drug addiction, and I do think for this being a small market where you can make a really big impact, his impact is felt like throughout the city.
Whoa, wow.
Mm.
What was his final cause of death? Was it a heart attack?
I believe it was a cardiac event.
Ugh,
It
that's
felt very,
one.
because I know you both are reading the Lisa Marie Presley, where it
Ooh.
feels similar, where it's like, he's 65. I thought he was older. I think everybody was
Yeah, I
shocked to be
thought he
like
was older.
65.
Yeah, 65
Um,
feels
he
young.
had not looked
He
well.
looked weathered. He looked
Yeah,
like he has done mountains of cocaine.
He
he
did
had
a
Looks like
not
full
he's lived his
65.
life.
All in on
he
60.
lived it.
Yeah.
He had not looked well for a while, but also I do think like his privilege kept him alive for a long time.
Mm.
I think if you live that way and you're not a professional sports team owner, you probably die younger than that. And so I'm glad that he got to be around. I've talked to like some people that are close to the organization, and they say the daughters have really been running it for the last bit
Okay.
anyways. And he was just sort of going in and celebrating and was obviously like a figurehead. But that
Mm-hmm.
Carly is very ready for this. That
I
they're
think his
excited.
very last tweet was like 8 hours before he died, and it was
Yeah.
like a good luck Pacers sort of vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think they should
When it
get it for
happened, I was
him.
like, can the Pacers use this? How do the Pacers capitalize on this? What
Huge.
can Rick Carlisle tie from Jim Irsay into the Pacers pregame speech? But yeah, there's just a lot of like indie sports things happening right now. It feels special to be here right now.
Some say the city came alive when you showed up. Some say.
Some say.
It did not help
I
the
really
fever. I'll tell you that. It did not help the
I
fever.
know Caitlin Clark is out for 2 weeks.
She's in a bit of a slump. Bit of a
Yeah.
slump.
Well,
But,
she's not
you
going to
know.
play. I do
No,
like
I
when
know,
she
but
get,
she just has been like missing a lot of shots.
I
And
know.
she's very annoyed. But I think that's like,
I
you
She
do like
know,
does
when she
seem and look the
yells.
most irritated that I think
I
we've seen
I
her
think
and
it's
I
thus
like
far.
it.
because I
Yeah.
like it, but I think the frustration is that like people have figured her out. So she
Mm,
has to figure like readjust, her
mhm.
gameplay.
I
And so
mean,
she's
she's
just like in that
still.
mode. It's like, in baseball, it's like you come up and like
Yes.
you're start mashing home runs because pitchers have never seen you
Yeah.
before. And
Yeah.
then they go, "Oh, he can't hit a curveball." And then they just throw you curveballs and then you're 0 for 27. So like they just have to
Ge-
adjust.
Or in bet like
Guess.
she's just gonna be. People are just all over her, so it's like she can't play.
Yeah.
Not even can she not play her game. She can't play any game because no one's letting. Like, you know what I mean? They're just gonna be on
Yeah.
her all the time.
And there's other good players on the Fever. Guess how much a Caitlin Clark toddler jersey is retailing for at a Dick's in Indianapolis?
125.
60.
90.
Wow.
Oh,
That is a
steep.
lot.
That's
That
a
is a lot.
lot.
It's a
Because
lot.
they are guesstimating that she's going to bring $1 billion to the WNBA, and I'm like, easy. I think she might bring $1 billion to Indianapolis alone. Like,
Hmm.
if all these games sell out, I think it's just brought more eyeballs. I'm hoping she gets like 2 weeks of rest and
Yeah.
gets to like recuperate, and because this is like the very beginning of the season,
What do you think
so
she does in her downtime? And you can't say practice.
um,
Like,
brush her hair. She looks like
I
she
I
gets
could
a
see that.
100 brushes in a day.
She looks a little bit like a horse girl. She's giving horse
She's a
girl.
horse. She looks very horse girly. I don't know where she lives. Someone told me Zionsville. If anyone knows, yesterday CJ got really mad at me. I took a picture of Tyrese's house and then I put it on my close friends, and he was like, "You can't do that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I had to take it down. But I'll just text it. But I didn't put the address. His house kind of looks like the Home Alone house, and I like that. I like to think that he's like a Kevin McAllister loose. So I'll just text it to you too.
Okay, I did like that Charles Barkley advocated for his dad to be able to go back to games. I thought that was really
And guess what? Free pops. It worked. He's coming.
Really?
He's going to be at the game tonight. He's going to be in a suite. He's going to be in a suite.
This is exactly why your thing, like Charles Barkley should be president, is like so correct.
He's incredible. So Tyrese Halliburton's dad will be in a suite at the Pacers game tonight. I thought it was going to be, people were like wanted him to have a lifetime ban. It had one series. Then he got to come back.
Yeah.
I know.
Lifetime ban. People are insane.
So much has happened.
People are insane. What was I going to say? Halliburton. Oh, yeah. Do you want to say where your mom was when Irsay?
So my mom was at her dear friend's house, who is very, very closely connected. And I thought she didn't. I texted her and she was like, "Oh my God, she doesn't know." And I'm like, "There's no way." And then she texted me back and was like, "She did know. She was just playing like it really cool." I'm like, I cannot believe she still had book club. And then my mom's friend's husband came home and he had actually like been there. And so, yeah, she said it was somber. She definitely was like, he came home and he wanted the dogs to come and chill with him. And it's like, yeah, these people that are like really, really large. I mean, I remember being with David Spade the day his sister died. And so, you know, it's like these news events. But then you're also like, oh, these are people and they're grieving. And so it's like, that's just got to be so much added scrutiny at a time when you really just want to be able to be like a human being.
With everyone talking about them, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, it's so hard, I think. Yeah, when then everyone's just telling you like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Like you got to multiply that by 1,000,000 when it's somebody famous. So
Spade kept bringing in sweets. He was like, "Someone sent me a cake. I don't know what I do with a cake." Like he was just like people. It was crazy. And I know this is like I shouldn't make a joke about it. I love Kate Spade, and it was so like devastating even as just like a fan, and then you know seeing her brother-in-law. But it was funny to see what rich people send other rich people in times of grief. Like he just kept bringing in so much silly food.
I think that's the only positive about somebody dying is that you just get nonstop food. When my dad died, we were like, we had to get a new freezer to put in our garage because people kept on bringing over casseroles.
I know. I can't wait. I already asked my mom, I go, "Do you think your friends will bring us food when I have this baby?" She goes, "Oh, yeah." And guess what? I'm eating it from the Trumpers. I'm not turning it away.
I thought you were going to say, "I can't wait for blank to die." Like, I thought
that's what I thought, too.
Like, what is she going to say?
Who's she going to say?
The best part about having a baby is, like, the food train. And, like, my friend from Connecticut, she was like, "Food trains are only for death." And I'm like, bitch, get out of my face. I want it all the time.
You were so smart because for your first kid, you had like organized everyone to like drop off food, gift cards.
Someone did that for me.
Like, I'm gonna. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna do that. That's so smart.
And then it ends after 2 weeks, and you're like, well, I don't know why I had this kid. I need food. Somebody needs to bring me chicken tortilla soup right now.
That's funny.
Okay, you know what you should write? You know what I just had an idea of, Meg? You should like write a comedy about like a small town socialite. Like a town that shouldn't have like a essentially like where you're living. Like what's the drama? What's the tea? I feel like you need to write that while you're home. And your mom and dad are the main characters.
They're inducing me, you know, a little early. And so I'm like, if they induce me on the 6th, I'll have the baby on the 7th. And July 7th is Megan Gailey Day in the city of Indianapolis.
Oh,
gorgeous.
We're shooting for that day.
And I'm like,
it's all coming up, Meg.
Well, I already told my dad this. So the baby's middle name is Jeffrey right now for my dad. I said, if the Pacers make it to the finals, I don't know that we're going to keep it. I was like, Dad, you may be out.
And then what would you replace it? What would you replace it with?
Tyrese.
Pascal.
Pascal. Spicy
Pascal.
P.
Rick Carlisle, full name.
At the BET, I'm writing on the BET Awards, and at the writers' room, like last week, they were talking about Tyrese. They were like Tyrese, and I just like thought they were talking about Halliburton the whole time. They were talking about the model actor,
the Tyrese,
the
one
Tyrese.
name,
the one name Tyrese. I was like, oh, I don't ever know.
What's Tyrese up to these days? Has he gotten like a little chunky? Because I would love that.
I think he's going to be on a new show. I think he is having like a comeback.
A resurgence?
Yeah. I'm gonna look up if he still looks good. Should we talk about flag football?
Yeah, I want to talk about flag football because the national men's flag football team or whatever, they have been very vocal in saying that they should be able to play in the Olympics because the NFL is considering letting NFL players play flag football for the Olympics. And the national flag football team members are like, no, we've worked our whole lives for this. Like, we should be able to do it. And I kind of agree. Like, I also don't feel like flag football and tackle football are that similar, other than, like, you're throwing the ball. But, like, the moves, the juke, like the creativity is completely different. The play calling is completely different. I mean, even when we see it in the Pro Bowl, and I suggested that we let the National Flag Football team play the NFL at the Pro Bowl when they do the flag football there. Like, let's just do it. Let's just see who's better. Let's settle the argument, and whoever is better goes to the Olympics. And then it would make the Pro Bowl more fun too. So I don't really know what you guys' stance on it is, but
what's the positive about them playing? They don't need an Olympic medal. They have literally everything else, money, trophies, MVPs, whatever. Why does Patrick Mahomes
the entertainment, the eyeballs? It's just telling bullshit. You like Sarah always says sports is a TV show. And so I'm first of all, Tyrese Gibson, he's aged, but it looks good. I try and think about it in comedy terms. And I'm like, this is like if a bunch of sketch actors or a bunch of improvisers were like, we're doing stand up at the Olympics. And it's like, no, motherfucker. No. I sat in a basement doing open mics for 10 years. I'm doing stand up at the Olympics. So it is just like, it feels very varsity jocks taking over the thing. And it's like, just let them have this thing. And like, even at a basic level, don't you not want to get hurt?
That's what I was going to say. I'm so surprised that the NFL owners voted yes for this, because it's like, why would you want to put, using the same example, why would you want to put Patrick Mahomes in whatever scenario? What if he rolls his ankle and you're fucked?
I think a part of fun of the Olympics is getting to know athletes we don't know, too.
Yeah.
Of like these like Cinderella stories, and like you always see those commercials, and it's like Home Depot employs the most Olympic. It's like these people work at Home Depot. Can they just have fucking 2 weeks where they get to be the star?
Yeah, I also think, I don't know. I mean, I understand. I do think that NFL athletes would want a gold medal the way that NBA players want a gold medal. Like, it's just like this other trophy in your case that like so few people have. It's a very specific niche thing. It's not like you get to keep the Super Bowl trophy at your house. You get a ring, you know? And so you have these rings as the symbol of how hard you've worked your whole life. I just feel like these guys have been grinding it away in the trenches of flag football with no one watching. So like, let them finally have their moment.
And flag football is having its moment finally.
Yeah.
Right. So there's an excitement with that. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm going to go to the Olympics. My life is going to completely change. And then it's like, actually, you just lost your spot to somebody who makes $1 bajillion.
I think the way we feel about this is probably representative of how just like women feel. Like, it's like you finally get this moment and then someone's like, nope, I'm taking it. Actually, when DK Metcalf was like, I'm going to be a track star, and then he was bad. That would be, it wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. He just was, he like didn't qualify. That would be fun too. If it's like, okay, let's play flag football, and then they just scorch them.
I will say the one fun thing that could come out of this is all the gossip about them sort of roaming around in the like Olympic campuses. You know, famous for having tubs of condoms.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Like when the NBA when like the Olympic men's basketball team had to stay on a boat off the coast of Brazil because they were like, you cannot be in the village. They kept them on a boat in the
usually the famous athletes are not in the village. Like Simone Biles is not in the village. She's like in a Nike suite or whatever. So Nike has like specific, or like if you're sponsored by a huge brand, they have a hotel and they rent out these giant suites that are decked out with their product.
Then zero positives. Then zero.
Well, no, some of them are like, I'll stay in the village. Like Simone Biles is like, I need to be in the Ritz. But these men are like, yeah, no, I'll sleep on the ground, whatever. I'll sleep outside the women's restaurant. Like,
they're just gonna sleep at They're like, where do the beach volleyball players stay? That's where I'll go.
What I've learned on this episode is we need a researcher who is dedicated only to athlete accommodations and famous people. We're just like, where are these people staying? Because listen, we're staying at hotels and we just can't imagine them. Like, I guess who's the most famous person you've ever seen staying at a hotel that you were staying at?
Colin Farrell.
Okay, great one. And was it a really fancy hotel?
Yeah, but it was during TIFF, so I feel like everyone has to be downtown. You won't.
Yeah. I saw Idris Elba, and I think he was staying at like the Fairmont in San Francisco, and I was like honored to be even breathing the same air as him.
I think once I saw Jared from Subway.
Indianapolis's own.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I can't remember who I saw, but like that seemed like the best person to say.
He is the worst person to say. He is from Naptown. He used to sit courtside at every Pacers game until he went to prison.
All right. Athlete accommodations or mountains of cocaine. That can be the title of
Tyrese looks good, guys. Like it's like with age, he's gotten like a little more rugged. Just so you know.
Before we log off here, we've got 2 minutes left. Meg, can we guess the size of your bebe?
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's funny.
Last week was a pickleball racket.
Mm-hmm. This week is a full basketball.
Oh no, we passed that.
We did? Oh, poor boy.
A paddleboard, a stand-up paddleboard.
No, but you're in the
an
right.
Oar.
You're in the right. You're in
a kickboard.
You're in. No,
life jacket.
No,
an oar.
But
an oar.
Water is correct.
Oh, a kickboard.
Something that goes through the water.
An oar.
No, not for your hands.
Oh,
a motor.
A flipper.
A flipper. I've got a swim flipper inside of me. This dude has a full brain. He's got everything. He just has to chunk up and his lungs have to develop. But he's ready to go.
Oh, okay. He still needs to gain some weight.
Well, yeah. I mean, he'd be like 5 pounds right now and he needs some lungs.
Oh, yeah. We need that.
But no, he's a full swim flipper.
Cutie.
He's a scuba Steve little flipper.
Our little Rick Carlisle. Ooh.
This changed my mood around for the day. Thank you.
Good. I'm so glad. Mountains of Cocaine. That's what the episode's going to be called. Love you guys. See you next week.
Love you.
Bye.
It's Sports Bitches.